one question I'd like to pose to people is, should civilians be allowed to and be justified in intervening at some point if the warrant clearly warrants it?
Man, that's tricky because you have to respect the authority. I want to be Cartman right now.
I hate that phrase. Respect authority. They're not authority.
Okay,
they're just not.
You know what I'm saying.
They're law enforcement.
Yes, you need to respect law enforcement and them trying to do their jobs. I understand that, but you don't know.
I mean, to anybody that watches this, to a jury that would watch this, they would see black and white, no pun intended, that you would sit there and look at that and go, yeah, I completely back up the civilians for getting in there and shoving that cop off of him. We will drop all charges or whatever for assaulting a cop or whatever, because I'm sorry, this was justified.
You got to think of Pandora's box. You might.
I know that's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the.
I just can't stand the idea of being the people who are paying for these public servants to protect us, the people, not being able to intervene with our employees to fire them on the spot if need be, so to speak. I mean, does that making some sense there, what I'm saying to you?
It is, but it's like
to feel powerless to do anything about it. These people knew if they did intervene, it could end up 10 times worse for them. They could have ended up just shot straight up on the spot for jumping in. And the cops would have been perfectly well within their legal rights to do so. Moral rights, not so much, but legal rights is all that matters right now.
So we allow one man to die to save others because they don't interfere.
That's the question, though. At what point? I mean, you would think there needs to be some point where people who can clearly see, hey, this is fucked up. This is unacceptable behavior. It needs to stop. We're gonna rush these people and we're gonna stop this shit.
Man, you really got me thinking about this one.
I know it's a tough one, right? It's not a clear-cut solution, and I hate that. But it's like if you frame it the proper way as these are public servants that we pay with our tax dollars to protect us.
You know, I'm going to have to go along the lines that if I was in that situation, God forbid, and I hope I never am, and I have to witness something like that, but if I am, and I see the man struggling, and he's having issues breathing, and he passes out, that there's just something inside of me that just tells me this is all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably have a hard time going through life knowing that I should have done something. But at what cost? Because there's a good possibility that, these cops could
end up being a martyr in the process.
Yeah, that's tough.
And this is something that I've seen literally nobody else talking about.
What, as far as
the civilians' role and responsibility in keeping this shit from happening?
We tend to talk about shit nobody else does. I love that.
I mean, I've literally not seen anybody from the right wing, left wing, nothing talk about it, because this is not a left wing, right wing. The left wing perspective is, this is a race issue. This is white cop versus black person. The right wing perspective is this is law enforcement. They're doing their job. Yes, this particular cop was a bad apple. He was out of line, but we need to respect authority. But you don't see anybody talking about the civilians and their role in this. Because like I said, to stand there with a cell phone and feel helpless, I'm sorry. Some of us would feel the need to jump in there and say, fuck that. This guy is doing wrong. It's got to stop. This guy is going to die.
Read that for me.
Did you just get goosebumps? Sorry.
No, read it.
We must always fear evil men, but there is another kind of evil that we must fear the most, and that is the indifference of good men.
That's basically, you become just as evil.
That was his tattoo I was reading for the podcast.
Basically, what that means is you become just as evil as the man that's putting the knee to that man's neck when you should step in to do something. I understand. Yeah,
if this is like civilian versus civilian, and you see some dude with his knee on some dude's neck, but all of a sudden we put on a fucking different set of clothing and a different costume, and now all the rules change? Seriously, no, we're still fucking people at the end of the day.
My heart tells me to step in. My heart tells me this is not right.
We all know what the right thing is. I mean, we'll all try to justify it ex post facto. Oh, this is the law, and we don't have the right to do that. But we'll all try to justify it, but we all know what the right thing to do and would have been to do. And nobody, literally nobody, would have blamed somebody for jumping in and shoving that officer, at least off of him. If it even brought that guy a moment just to catch his breath.
I know.
Just a moment. That's all he needed. Somebody just to... Hell, I don't know, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the comments. I'm gonna go back to the comments because this part
it's hard,
right here.
Man. It's hard.
It's something that is not talked about enough, and at all. And it's like the biggest like elephant in the room as far as I can tell. Just Huh from YouTube says, but you guys have white privilege.
White privilege is a fucking joke. Go on somewhere with that bullshit.
So let's go on and look at all the stories of white people dying at the hands of cops. That never get covered. I don't care
if we lose a subscriber because of this douchebag. If you believe in white privilege, you're a fucking idiot.
I have a feeling. That was sarcasm.
I think it is too.
Okay, so Chivo then goes on, but it's an individual choice, and be willing to accept all risk consequences and live and die on your principles. Yeah. I think we really need more people that are willing to live and die by their principles. At least half-assed behave as if your principles mean something.
Right.
Jesus Christ, people. Anyway, so before we run out of time, I do want to get back into the story.